Hello everyone. So I'm doing this video to put what I want to focus on or a plan for 2022. So while I do not believe in New Year resolutions or goals, I do think that systems are a lot better. I do think it's better to at least have some targets or a good plan to make a good use of 2022. So I only have four things in mind, four major things that I do want to focus on. And why four? Because having so many targets or goals, that's not really a plan. That's like a Christmas wish list for things to happen. So, and I do not believe in that. And that's unfortunately what a lot of people, what I have done in the past years is to make like a list of things I want to do. But you know, um, if you prioritize, there, you irritate that list. But if you can't prioritize, then you don't have a plan, and you're just a mess. So, and two, I'm very privileged to be in the state that I am. I'm healthy, I'm good, um, uh, socially stable, mentally stable, physically stable. I got the roof over my head. I don't have to worry about food, um, that much. But so yeah, I will say indeed that the four things that I do want to focus on this year, that could change any moment, especially if I don't know, uh, if I don't know if this house burns down, if I go homeless, you never know, like that could happen. Um, Anything can happen really. So I do have to be aware that I'm in a privileged state to be focusing on the four things that I want. So that's just a reminder for my future self is you're very damn lucky to be focusing on the four things you want to do. But enough talking. This is the four things. So number one is languages. As I mentioned, it's the it's one of the keys to connect all of us. And I think for me, it's such a good way to get to understand get to understand an individual, get to understand the mentality, and especially if it works for you. Traveling is another good thing, but also as I had in the philosophies, the number of languages you know is the number of purposes you serve for someone. Um, you know, just try it with someone who English isn't their native tongue. They will light up a lot more. And maybe if you've seen some of my other videos in Spanish, I have noticed it myself, but in Spanish, I'm kind of a little bit more excited. In English, it's a lot more direct and strict. And 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 another interesting thing is when people speak to me in English, I am way more direct. But when I'm speak more in Spanish, I don't know, I feel a lot more excited, happy. Like you can see the happy side of me. Um, but that's just something that I've got on, and that's why I've been starting to learn all of as many, not as many, but the languages that I find a deep interest in. And as I said, I don't learn a language unless I have a good reason for it. Because I remember when I acquire one, actually when I acquire one, that's for life. I'm not acquiring one just for sole purpose. Because if the main reason why I learned it disappears, will I still want to speak it? Then you gotta have multiple reasons for why. And I think it's also the same thing for loving someone. If you can't really pinpoint one good reason why, like one main reason why you like someone, then you really love them. It's like, because if you had one good reason why, if that were eliminated, would you still like the person, even if they didn't have whatever they had? I think that's also another thing. So the goal here would be to communicate in six languages by the end of 2022. Not speak fluently, communicate. So like read, write, speak. And by communicate, I mean I can understand them, I can speak it back, and they will understand me. That's what communicate to me means. And the six languages are Spanish, my native tongue, English, Portuguese, Greek, Catalan, and Arabic. For Arabic, I'm battling between two dialects, the Darija from Morocco and the Tunis from Tunisia. I'll probably decide that as I get closer to picking that out. I might start with the Moroccan one, but probably my dumbass will learn both because why not? Both sound beautiful. So, and plus I like both countries, so why not? But we'll get there when we get there. Present is the only thing that matters. But yeah, so by the end of 2022, I should be able to acquire 6 languages and communicate in them. So that's number one. Number two is better connections, or like more connections, but more higher quality connections. Because connections, in some ways, just like acquaintances to me. Acquaintances are good. I'm not saying they're bad, but you want to have those good friends or these good people in your life that you can chat to about literally anything, have fun with them, mess around with them, but also they're there for you when you're going through some very tough shit in your life. So I think that's very important to have. So, and it could be, and for me, I would also try and go global, like have a global network, not just like in my local area. Because as I mentioned with languages, it's important to connect with other ways of thinking and other ways of living. So it's also very important to me as I do want to travel a good amount in the next year or two. So yeah. So better connections either through events or by self-activation, which self-activation would be a better idea. But yeah, so in terms of network, I think at the end of the year would be 20 good, like very high quality vibes speak on a daily basis. Like it's like I guess you could say like a ride or die. So okay, anyways, third thing. Third thing would be to start focusing a little bit more on my driving ability. Because the past year was a chaotic mess for my physical health. So, or at least 2021 was a nightmare, a little bit of a nightmarish mess. So, that wasn't a priority for me. But now, as I said, I'm privileged enough to start focusing on that. So I will get that better. And I think I can pull it off easily. But very important to me as I think it's time. Like my inner senses is kind of like saying you're ready to become more independent, and I think I am. I'm ready for that leap. So let's do it. Um, with the privilege that I have of being physically stable now. So, and the final thing. Jesus Christ, what was that final? Yeah. So the final thing was to explore and activate, and that's the bio on my Twitter, but it's in Spanish, explorando y activando. But basically, whenever you have an interest, I would say build stuff in it, and I think that's something I've neglected to do. Even with the ebook, I still think I could have, pushed myself a lot more. But I think now it's also what I'm currently doing for now is with vitamin E and vitamin D deficiency, and maybe iron for Mexico, for Mexico, sorry. And the big bucket goal would be, can I make an impact in 1 million people by the end of 2022? And hey, it's actually a good thing because I'd rather have that target of 1 million people and fail rather than impact 1,000 people and actually make it. It's like, okay, I actually might stop there because if your mindset is I want to impact 1,000 people, I'll stop at 1,000. If I impact 1 million people and I do it, oh well, I probably might stop there. But I'm pretty confident that I might not impact 1 million people, so that's why I'm putting that uh, you know number up there. But if I actually do pull it off, then I'll have to change the number before my mind settles for that. But that would be a good shot. If I can impact 1 million out of the 110 million-ish Mexicans, fine. Let's do that. Why not? Via the vitamin E deficiency. But I think I'm being a little bit too focused central. So I think the overall would just be to impact 1 million people in general. But bonus points if it's Mexico. So cool with that. And then there are the miscellaneous things like social gatherings, exercise. stay in good shape, and then also, like keep my mental health, keep my mental health in there because that's very important. And what's it called? Make sure you're not starving and all that. Like I said, and I don't really have to worry about that because I'm at a good place in life. But as I said, that can all change. So you have to be very damn privileged of what you have right here. God, Allah bless that. Um, but yeah, that's my updates for the end of 2021, and I will see you in 2022. And hopefully this inspires you. Hopefully this helps a few people to also put down their I guess their plan for 2022. Remember, you don't want to start 2022 with a damn wish list. You want to actually have a plan. So I'll see you soon.